The secret to well-being is discovering the power that is your birthright, the power to create a happier, healthier life, drawn from our own vast internal resources. Join Jules and her guests as they gently guide you to shift your perspective from the familiar negative to the divinely connected, a place that will not only positively impact your world, but possibly shift the planet. It's all right here on Law of Attraction Talk Radio.
Well, welcome to Law of Attraction Talk Radio. I'm Jules from beautiful Southern California, and I'm so glad you could be with me. I've got a really great show because I've got a fabulous guest, and you probably have seen her, and it's so impressive that I've got to read all of the things that she has accomplished. It is Preethaji, a co-author of The 4 Sacred Secrets. She is a transformational leader, co-founder of the renowned ONO Academy in India, and she's co-author of this really terrific book, The 4 Sacred Secrets for Love and Prosperity, a guide to living in a beautiful state. Now, this is something that you are going to love. She is such a spiritual teacher and meditation master. She's reached thousands and actually millions of people worldwide to create a revolution in human consciousness. We have got a lot to learn from her today. She has been on TEDx on how to end stress, unhappiness, anxiety, and she has taught so many things, how we truly are our own worst enemy and how we can break the cycle of destruction and learn how to become the greater self that we truly are. So you're going to love this show. I want you to stay tuned. We're going to take these fast commercial breaks, and then we're going to be right back. And this is a show you're not going to want to miss.
It's here, it's hot, and it's a must read. It's the science behind The Law of Attraction magazine. Every issue brings you great articles and in-depth how-tos from all your favorite Law of Attraction experts, authors, scientists, and medical professionals. Go to lawofattractionmagazine.net. That's lawofattractionmagazine.net.
Did you know that every human uses only a small portion of their powerful mind? Jules Johnson, international certified hypnotherapist, wants to introduce you to your powerful mind in order to create your dream life. In as little as one session, Jules guides you into releasing limiting beliefs that keep you from achieving wealth, health, better relationships, and even true love. Schedule a session in Palm Springs or set up a Skype video session for those nationally and internationally. Jules would love to serve as your guide into living your dreams. Go to creativeguidedimagery.com or call 951-201-2166. That's creativeguidedimagery.com.
You're listening to the Law of Attraction Radio Network, heard by millions worldwide through 38 internet radio stations and in over 135 countries. Be sure to sign up for your monthly updates and get all the latest information on LOA radio events such as cruises, workshops, and seminars, as well as information on the latest shows, topics, and guests. Go to LOARadionetwork.com and sign up today.
Well, welcome, Preethaji, to Law of Attraction Talk Radio. I am thrilled to have such a prestigious and transformational leader on my show.
Namaste, Jill. So wonderful being with you. So great to be on your show.
Well, I'm thrilled because you are really renowned in India because you've started an academy there, but you're also about spiritual teachings, and that's something that's very near and dear to all of the listeners' heart. And you actually talk about abundance and prosperity. So this is just so perfect on how we can become and live in all the time into this beautiful state of being. And that's what we want to know. So, I just kind of want to let you take it from there and tell us what you're all about.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you for being so warm and kind. We run, Krishnaji and myself. Krishnaji is my husband. He's the founder. We both have founded ONO Academy together. The academy is present in India, but we have people coming to us from across the globe. We are strongly present across several countries in the globe. For us, having a lot of prosperity, having great relationship, and achieving success and fame is not the be-all of life.
Oh, good.
Nor is a transformational state of living in a transformed state of consciousness the end all of it. Throughout ages, what we have seen is one set of people being so focused towards achievement, towards success, towards prosperity, and having great family. And then a few of them, very few of them, moving to experiencing or having the spiritual experiences, the transformative experiences in one's consciousness. For us, we see one can experience a beautiful life of abundance, joy, prosperity, peace, togetherness, only when you live in a transformed state of consciousness. We are bringing together the two spectrums, which has been an assumption in this world for a very, very, very long time. We have seen individuals transform their inner state of being, experience this profound, beautiful states in consciousness, and experience that is not limited only in an experience, but it also transforms the reality itself. We're able to create profound joy in the people around them. They're able to create a beautiful family. They're able to nurture that family. They're able to bring up children who would be contributing to this world and planet, and at the same time acquire a lot of abundance and prosperity.
Wow.
We believe that you need to live in a beautiful state if you want to be in alignment with the universe.
Right.
When you are in a suffering state, when you're talking about suffering state, it is not limited to sadness alone. It is not limited to loneliness alone. We see anything that is disturbing as a suffering state. A state of anger, a state of fear, a state of hurt, a state of jealousy, a state of loneliness, insecurity, depression. Everything is a suffering state because it is not nice to live in a suffering state.
Yeah.
As we are living in a suffering state, we are constantly signaling out to the universe that we are open to chaos and open to problems. There is this feeling that we are separate and isolated beings, but we are truly not. We probably feel separate because of the mirror neurons in our body so that we don't bump against each other and fall off. But in the realm of our consciousness, we're actually very connected. It's a different reality. We are one in the fabric of life. To believe that we are separate and then to immerse ourselves in suffering, to be in that state forever and ever, is actually telling the universe that we are open to problems.
Mm.
So the more you nurture a beautiful state in your consciousness, where you live in states of love, of joy, of calm, of peace, of connection, or even the transcendental states where you experience bliss or togetherness with the universe, then you're telling the universe that you're opening your life to synchronicities. You're opening up your life to abundance. And then you will meet those people, you'll get those ideas, you will be put into those situations by which you can lead your life towards a great destiny.
That sounds wonderful. But what do we have to overcome to get ourselves into that state?
It is important to be on a spiritual path. It is important. It is not an experience that you would have overnight. Yeah, you have profound experiences. I have seen people in the courses have profound experiences. And then they take it back home and nurture a beautiful state. We are teaching individuals across the globe to nurture this beautiful state. Because as we sail past our life, as we move through experiences of rejection, of failure, of loss, of separation, it is not getting over. It is something that is lingering in our consciousness.
Yeah.
It is something that is lingering in our consciousness, what has happened in our life now, and also what has happened when we were in a mother's womb, and also what has happened to the entire humanity continues in every one of us. So it is important that we free ourselves of all that is hurting us, all that is keeping us nailed in suffering states. It's important to experience that freedom, and it happens through a spiritual journey. Let me share this with you. If you look at a cobra, cobra is something that we find in India. I don't know if you have it here.
Big snakes.
Yeah, it's a big snake. It's a very big, powerful, poisonous snake. And every 3 to 4 times a year, it feels very uncomfortable in its own skin. It feels very uncomfortable. And then when it gets uncomfortable with its own skin, it loses its power in its fangs. And it also loses clarity into its vision. It's not able to see very clearly.
Wow.
So when it feels like that, the cobra moves into seclusion. It goes through a process where it is shedding the old, and there is a new skin that is come. And then and as the new skin emerges, which is bright and shiny, and then it has its fangs, which has regained its power, and then it regains its vision, is able to see clearly and explores into life. It is something that we need for ourselves, a journey in consciousness. We can't continue to living the way we have been living, because if you see the current situation of the world, the anxiety, it is like more than 40 million Americans over here are suffering from chronic anxiety. That's a lot. Probably 50% of adults are suffering from loneliness. It has become chronic in nature. And we can't continue living our lives this way. And it is important that we are aware of what is the state we are constantly fueling, or what is the state we are nurturing within ourselves. And to go through these processes, to shed all the old, because it is kind of controlling our lives.
Yes, it is.
It is controlling our lives, it is controlling our emotions, it's controlling our thinking, it's controlling our actions, and it's controlling our destiny. We want abundance, we want prosperity, we want a joyful life, we want to have a great family. Then it is very important that we nurture a beautiful state.
So in other words, it all starts and stops with us.
Absolutely, it starts. Unfortunately, we are a civilization that focuses a lot on the external world, what we can show to others, how much we can achieve. Nothing wrong with it. It is great. It's great to move forward in life towards achievement, towards success. But it is extremely important to do it from a beautiful state. Because we believe that we will find happiness after we have achieved.
That's so true.
But the truth is, even after you've achieved, you're not happy. People are living in anxiety. The 40 million Americans we're talking about, it's not only people who have not achieved. People who have achieved are in anxiety. People who have not achieved are in anxiety. People who have achieved are anxious about sustaining what they've achieved. People who have not achieved are anxious about to see if they will be able to realize what their aspirations were. So it is not about achievement or not achievement. It is about nurturing a beautiful state as you're moving towards the entire process of life, because only then you will be a connected individual. Only when you're connected to the people around you, only when you're connected to to the world around you. You'd have the great intelligence. You'd be able to give the right response. And it does not stop with it. When you are in this beautiful state, you are in connection with the universe, and you feel the universe is supporting you. You feel the universe is your friend, allowing you to achieve, allowing you to fulfill your dreams. You fulfill your heartfelt purpose.
Well, that's where we all want to be. We want to be that spiritually connected. But the issue is, how do we get there and still live in this 3D world? That's the question.
We all have a vision for our external world. In our book, The 4 Sacred Secrets, we are sharing the 4 sacred secrets. Sorry. The 4 Sacred Secrets is something that we're sharing with the world. It is our new book. It is an upcoming book to be released in August.
Oh, wonderful.
And the first sacred secret talks about a spiritual vision. We all have vision for our external life.
Right.
But we're talking about a vision for your inner state of being.
Right.
We want to be achievers. But from what state do you want to achieve? You want to be a stressed out achiever, or you want to be a fulfilled achiever? The first beginning is a vision for your inner state of being.
Okay.
If you are that person who experiences a beautiful state, not only you, every minute of your life, you are creating, you are enjoying, you are intelligent, but it's so beautiful to be there.
And
So-
I think that's what everybody in America wants to achieve. I have no doubt in my mind that they would rather be there than achieve all of the wealth or whatever they're looking for. Inner peace and love, and that is the most important thing. But
So-
we don't know how to get there.
It is okay. It is important to have a spiritual vision first. That is the first secret.
Spiritual.
Once you have a vision, then you have a deep clarity on your purpose of life. You will be able to redefine your purpose, and you
Okay.
will be able to have deep clarity on everything that you're doing. So the first step is holding a spiritual vision.
Okay, now spiritual vision, I want you to clarify, because it's not religious, it is your connection to everyone and everything on this planet Earth.
It is your vision to live in a beautiful inner state of being.
Okay, so it's just
Because-
that. It doesn't have to do with our connection to anyone. Okay.
It will eventually, but
Okay.
the first step is to hold a vision for your inner state of being. Because we are a civilization focused on our external world, we do not believe that, at least we've not given enough importance that we need to nurture this beautiful state.
Okay.
We need to take time, we need to bring attention to our inner state of being and make sure that we are constantly living with a vision of living in a beautiful state.
That makes sense.
That is a spiritual vision. So that is the first sacred secret we share in the book. The second sacred secret is inner truth. The inner truth allows us to bring attention to our suffering states as and when they arise. It allows us to bring attention to the disturbing states that we experience as we course in our lives. It allows us to see, to bring attention, and to remove it from our consciousness and to nurture a beautiful state in being. That is, if you imagine a consciousness to be a garden, and right now it is filled with weeds, and you are in a journey like, say, the snake, which is shedding its old skin and clearing up its weeds. And then you make sure when a small weed is coming up in your garden, it is not comfortable for you because you hold a vision for your inner state. You want to remove that weed from your consciousness. It is important that you are nurturing this beautiful garden. You're constantly putting in effort to nurture this beautiful state. And you're going to bring attention to the suffering state or the stressful state as and when it arises, and you're removing the suffering states and nurturing a beautiful state. There is a practice that is there in the book, which is the serene mind practice. for you to do this. And there is another practice which is also there available in the book, which is called the soul sync practice. So serene mind practice is a practice that you do every time you move into a state of discomfort. It's just a 3-minute practice. I'm not asking more from you. It is just a 3-minute practice. You bring attention to your inner state and remove those suffering states as and when it arises.
Interesting.
On the other hand, the soul sync practice, it's scientific as well as mystical in nature. It has a step-by-step practice for you to move your body into a state of calm, for you to move into an expanded, beautiful state of consciousness. And then you hold a powerful intention at the end of the soul sync meditation for you to manifest the life that you want to manifest. So the soul sync meditation is practiced by participants across the globe. It is a 9-minute practice. It is easy, it is simple, it is immensely powerful, and it gives a direction for your day and allows you to nurture this beautiful state.
And I could see that what you're doing is removing those issues that you are wanting things out there, but they're fulfilling a need, an ego or something. So you're kind of releasing that and coming back to the spiritual self.
Yes, to let go of all that is hurting, to let go of all that is limiting, and then moving us into a state of expansion, moving us into a state of feeling connected to the people, to the life, to the world, to the universe. So it is a journey. That's why we call it a journey, because it is like you, with a soul sync practice, you begin to experience calm. With another process, you experience deeper connection. With another process, you experience those transcendental states. In another process, you experience those enlightened states of being one, or state of witness, or a state of compassion. It is a progressive journey. But one thing definitely that is overarching this journey is the more you are free of your suffering, the more you are out of these limiting states in consciousness. Once you experience this profound connection with the universe, then your experience of life is beautiful. You would be having the power to create a beautiful family, a peaceful and a loving world.
That sounds pretty wonderful. And it doesn't, does it take a couple of months, or does it take a year, or is it constant? Are we always going back to like the first and second step in order to remain in that beautiful state?
See, in India, there are courses that is there across the globe that I do. It is called the Field of Abundance. It's a 4-day retreat. But for those who are not able to make it, please at least start with the soul sync practice. You are nurturing a beautiful brain. There are programs in India which takes you into 10 levels. Each 9 days. And those
9 days?
Yes.
Wow.
And where you immerse yourself and let go of all that is hurting you, let go of all the suffering, let go of all the pain, feeling more connected. It is an experience. So it is a process. It is movement into the transcendence, the mystical. But for those, even if you're not able to come to India, but start with a practice.
So you could do that and get them on the right track in 4 days. Is that usually?
Yes, the Field of Abundance is just 4 days where they are able to have a very clear vision for the inner state, also experience the transcendence, have a glimpse of that experience, letting go of all that has been hurting them, holding on to the consciousness. Yes, the 4-day.
Wow. 4 days. Wow. Okay, where do I sign up?
The third secret that is there in the book is accessing the universal intelligence.
I love that.
So throughout ages, we have seen that we access the universal intelligence when we are in suffering, when we are in desperation, when we are helpless. And many religions eulogize suffering. But what we have seen is when an individual is able to nurture a beautiful state and then access the universal intelligence, then they're able to manifest. It is like having a cell phone with a great network. Then you're heard and you're being heard. But otherwise, when you are in a suffering state, it is still having a cell phone. The instrument is there, but you do not have a network. You speak very loud, you want to be heard, but you're not being heard.
That makes so much sense.
So it is taking you into a state by which you will be able to access the universal intelligence and then manifest your destiny that you want to manifest. So that is the third sacred secret we share in the book. The fourth sacred secret that we share in the book is spiritual right action, where you're given the blueprint for the ongoing dilemmas of life. Many times you're faced with this dilemma, whether to say yes or no in a particular situation, whether to be together or to separate, whether to be aggressive or to be submissive, to push or pull. We are constantly faced with this dilemmas of life, and everyone faces it. And in the book, the fourth sacred secret that we share is a spiritual right action, which gives you a blueprint on what action you need to take at a given point of time.
Wow. That sounds wonderful.
This book is a vision for Krishnaji and me. We have authored it together. This book is having a vision for a Buddha driving a Benz with loved ones. You live in a transformed state of consciousness, experience all the abundance and prosperity and love in your life as you continue living your life with your loved ones. So this is the vision for the book. So Buddha driving a Benz along with your loved ones.
Okay, so our start in this beautiful life is to read your book, The Four Sacred
Secrets.
Four Sacred Secrets, of course. So we need to read that. And that starts us off on our journey of transformation.
On a journey of transformation, on a journey towards living a life in a beautiful state.
And again, in the law of attraction world, we are always focusing on getting something out there instead of looking within and correcting that within. So that we need to have a different viewpoint in order to grasp the whole thing. I think this is really important.
People think positive thinking would help them get what they want to get. But in our experience, what is needed is an expanded state of connection where you feel connected to the universe. That is, the more self-centric you are. I'm not talking about selfishness. I'm talking about in a suffering state where we are engrossed with ourselves. The more we are engrossed with ourselves, the more we are moving away from what we want in life.
That is so true.
That is why this journey, Jules, like, we teach people to move away from separation to experiencing connection. We teach people to help individuals move away from suffering states to experiencing beautiful states. We help individuals move from division to experiencing oneness. So as this movement happens, as you grow in these states, beautiful states, the transcendental states, and the enlightened states of consciousness, then you are attracting.
You are attracting. So it's so funny because I was just talking with a friend about this. The state of division, this is predominant in the United States right now. We are living in states of division. Emotionally, we can't connect with each other because we are politically or whatever. It's just very, very strange situation. Truly, there is a huge division. Now, this division is within each of us.
Yes. What is happening within you is happening to the world.
Okay.
What is happening at the individual level is happening at the global level, at the national level. So the division that we are experiencing externally is a division that we have been experiencing internally. where we have been separating ourselves from everybody else. And we live in states of conflict. We live in states of suffering. And that is what we see in the world today.
That is exactly what we're seeing today. And you came to the right place. We need this desperately here. Really, we have been stopping at a certain point and we need to go further. And it is a spiritual that we have to connect with. We are mirroring that which we hate in others. We are mirroring that out. That's within us.
Yes, definitely. Absolutely. And it's not only in the United States.
It's all over?
It's all over the world. It's all over the globe.
Oh my goodness.
Where families are not able to be together, nations are not able to be together. The world is not being together. And if we want to really leave a beautiful world for our children, for our grandchildren, it is extremely important that we nurture a beautiful state in our consciousness.
You're right.
So much of chaos, so much of confusion that we see outside is basically coming from a state of consciousness, coming from the individual's experience of oneself, individual's experience of life. Because what is happening to the individual is happening to the world.
And it's the mirroring concept.
Absolutely.
So what you are teaching us then is to stop looking at our 3D world and look within and resolve the issues within us.
Absolutely. If you look at those beautiful moments in your life, those beautiful moments, if you think of one beautiful moment in your life, it will be an experience of connection that you experienced with another. If you looked at one moment in your life where you were destructive in nature, where you were causing suffering to somebody else, and if you're able to bring attention to yourself and look back at yourself at those moments, it is when you were in a suffering state. So if you want to create this huge wave, this huge movement of wanting to create a better world, it is important that every one of us nurture a beautiful state in our consciousness. The more we nurture a beautiful state in our consciousness, our thinking would be different. The emotions that we experience would be different. The actions that we perform would be different. The choices that we make would be different. And then we would be able to create this huge movement of creating a beautiful world.
So does it mean that we need to go back and resolve every time that we did this to another? Or
no, we don't want to go back and dissolve. Right now, you just learn to resolve what is happening currently in your life.
Oh.
You learn to remove all the weeds that is constantly springing, because we are used to living in these states.
That's
we
right.
are used to feeling lonely. We are used to feeling anxious. We are used to feeling sad. We are used to feeling insecure. And that's what we go back to again and again, revisit again and again with the slightest change in the external environment. And sometimes even in the external is fine, you get back into feeling it because you are used to it. And bring attention to it. What is it that you're constantly feeling? The more you are in those states, more easy it is for you to get back to those states. That's why I feel this learning, this education has to be started very young, even when as children. What is the state that you're constantly feeling in a child? I mean, what is a child living in?
Fear.
Fear, yes, fear and insecurity. And it continues to live life that way, even if the child is achieving, or even if the child is aspiring to achieve. It continues to live in that state. And it is the external achievement is not bringing about a change in the way you experience life. So let us start from inside out. Nurture a beautiful state. As even if you're able to do the soul sync practice, it changes your brain, the way it functions. You're able to create activity in those regions of your brain where you're more calm, where you're more peaceful, where you are more connected. It activates the anterior cingulate in your brain and you're feeling more connected to people around you. So it is important. That's why the practice is very important. The wisdom is very important. The practice is important. The processes are important. The mystical experiences are important. But even if
Yeah.
you're able to start with a practice, it is going to help you change your brain.
And that act of meditation changes the brain.
Yes, it changes the brain, because right now we are living in a world where we have overactivated our limbic system.
Yeah.
We live in anger, we live in fear, we live in anxiety, and that's overactivated in limbic system. We need to shift. We need to shift that activation to yet another region in your brain. You need to activate the mid-prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for connection. You need to activate those regions of your brain where you're feeling more expanded and feeling more connected than you usually feel. Only when those get activated, then this one will become less.
And then I could actually see where it is a permanent. It's not something that you have to keep revisiting, because you are changing the structure of the brain, so it's more permanent.
Yeah, there is.
I love that.
Right now, you're permanently trapped to suffering states.
Yeah.
So as we rewire the brain, as we activate different regions of your brain, we have seen people like if they spend 90% of their time in suffering state and probably 10% in a beautiful state, the whole thing changes. They are now probably in a place where they're spending 90% of their time in a beautiful state, and then suffering comes and goes, and they're fully aware of it as it comes and goes, and they're taking it off, removing it from their consciousness.
I love this. And you could actually, by reading this book, you can actually get on the path and then take a course from you for 4 days.
Yes, absolutely. That'll be the best.
That's how we can really rewire the brain.
Or even the soul sync practice is available. Start there. It's available online. The soul sync practice.
Really?
Yes.
Online?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's great. That's wonderful news. Oh, okay. This is great. Now tell me where we can get the book.
The book is available on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. It's available everywhere. So we can send you all the links so you can share it with your audience.
Yes, and so that's our first place. And then your website. We want to know where we can find out more information.
pkconsciousness.com.
PK, P as in Paul, K as in K.
Kite. Yeah.
Yeah, kite.com. pkconsciousness.com. Okay. See, that's good information. This is exactly what we need to hear. And we all know here that we have to heal within. Yes. We all know this. But the trick has been, well, how do we do that?
We have a path, the soul sync meditation, the serene mind practice, the 4-day course, the programs in India, or we have the mystical powerhouse in India, the ACOM, where you have the mystical and the transcendental experience. So what I'm trying to tell you is we have a definitive path, and we want individuals to move from the states of separation into experiencing powerful connection so they can experience a life that they desire. And it is very important not only for yourself, it is important that you live in a beautiful state, because then you become capable of nurturing a beautiful family and capable of nurturing wonderful children and contribute towards creating a more beautiful world.
And that's what it's all about, because the duplication of you spreads out to the world. It's the 100th monkey effect. So, yeah, that's so important. You know, right now in this day and age, we have got to strive to not only, to especially change ourselves, but with that in mind, that if we want a better world for the future generations, we have to change us first.
Absolutely. Otherwise, we are leaving behind for our children and grandchildren and the generations. Not a nice thing.
Yeah.
It is very important that we take it very seriously. The world is in this state right now because we are divided within ourselves.
That is so true. Boy, that really rings home true. That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing this wisdom with us. And I will have all the links to your book that we can go out and first purchase that. And then I really got to go to your website. I've got to experience. This is really something that I want to do. So thank you so much.
Wonderful meeting you. So wonderful being on your podcast. It's a real joy speaking with you.
And I hope you'll come back on, because I know that there's more that we can talk about.
Absolutely. A lot of them.
A lot. This is so good. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week with another great show from Law of Attraction Talk Radio. If you'd like to comment on tonight's show, send an email to jules@loaradionetwork.com and have a great week.